The wind rolled through Dry Creek, whispering through the saloon doors like a ghost. Inside, men laughed too loud, drank too fast, and forgot too much. Eli Carter sat at the far corner, tall, quiet, hat pulled low. He wasn't drinking, just listening, watching. The room smelled like whiskey, sweat, and regret, the perfume of every broken soul west of the Rio Grande. He hadn't come for pleasure. He hadn't come for company. He came because silence hurt more than noise these days. Then the door opened. A man dragged in a girl, young, small, dressed in rags. Her face was bruised, her hands bound with rope. Around her neck hung a crude sign, "For sale, $1." The room went silent. Someone laughed bitterly. $1? Hell, that's cheaper than a mule. Eli's eyes lifted. The girl trembled but said nothing. The man holding her sneered, "She's no good for work, but someone might want her for the night." "Please," she whispered, "just make it quick." Those words stopped Eli's heart. He rose slowly, walked toward the counter, and pulled a silver coin from his coat. It gleamed under the lamplight. "I'll take her," he said. The saloon burst into laughter. "Carter's gone soft. $1 for a corpse." He ignored them, took her hand gently, walked her out. Outside, the night was cold and cruel. He untied her wrists. She didn't run. She didn't even look up. He led her to his horse. "Can you ride?" She nodded faintly. They rode in silence across the moonlit desert, the wind howling through cactus and stone. When they reached his ranch, she spoke for the first time. "Why didn't you just do it there?" "Do what?" he asked. "Kill me." He stopped in his tracks. "Because I don't kill what's already been killed by life." He led her to the small guest cabin behind the barn. "You can sleep here. There's food on the table." She looked at him like she didn't understand kindness, then whispered, "Thank you." Days passed. She stayed quiet, haunted. He learned her name was Clara. She'd been passed between men and towns until she forgot where she came from. Eli didn't pry. He just gave her space. Left meals by her door. Fixed the roof. Repaired the fences. At night, when the wind grew harsh, he could hear her crying softly. Sometimes he'd sit by the fire, listening, wishing he could take her pain the way a man takes a bullet for a friend. One morning, she came out to feed the chickens. Her hands shook, but she smiled faintly. "Thought I'd help," she said. He nodded. "You can help as much as you like." From then, she worked beside him, quietly, carefully, always keeping a small distance, like someone afraid of breaking something fragile. Over time, the ranch began to change. So did she. The cabin no longer echoed with silence. She hummed while cooking. She planted flowers by the window. One evening she found him staring at the sunset. "It's beautiful," she said. He smiled. "Haven't noticed beauty in a long time." She looked at him, eyes soft. "Maybe you weren't looking in the right place." A storm came that night, the kind that turned dust to rivers. Clara ran into the barn, trembling. He found her there, curled up beside his horse. "Storms scare me," she whispered. He sat beside her. "Then you're not facing this one alone." Thunder crashed. She grabbed his arm. He didn't move, just stayed with her till the rain quieted down. When dawn broke, the air smelled clean. She looked at him. Really looked. "You could have hurt me that first night." "But you didn't." Eli turned away. "You've been hurt enough. I wasn't about to add my name to that list." Days bled into weeks. One evening she found him in the barn, carving something. "What's that?" she asked. He held up a silver locket, shaped from the same coin he'd used to buy her. "It's the $1, he said quietly. Didn't feel right keeping it as a coin. Thought it could be something worth more. Tears filled her eyes. "Why would you give me this?" He smiled faintly. "Because that night I didn't buy you, Clara. I bought myself a reason to live again." She fell against him, trembling, whispering, "You saved me." He shook his head. "No, you saved me." Years passed. They grew old on that land. Two souls who found peace where pain once lived. When Eli died, Clara buried him under the oak tree by the river. She placed the silver locket on his chest before the dirt covered him. When she followed him years later, they laid her beside him, her Bible resting on his grave. His hat on hers, the inscription read, "He bought her freedom." She gave him peace.